Hey. This is your Meenamma, and I'm here on my special program, Meet Me with the Even Maverick special. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have my own sky and I have my own stars. This evening with me, I have live, palpable, and wonderful, a woman whom I have respected and have watched grow in this a space of experiential anchoring. Meet on Meenamma Show, a very special place. Ladies and gentlemen, to the Meenamma Show this evening. We are thrilled to host Gitikka Ganju Dhar, a revered figure in India's live stage anchoring scene. With more than 25 years of global experience, Geetika's impeccable skills and profound content writing have earned her the accolades as the wow live artist of the decade and many more. Named amongst the top 10 women in the Indian live industry by EEMA, she's also a TEDx speaker and a communication coach. Geetika's career transitioning from television to stage, anchoring, emphasizing talent over other superficial attributes. She has garnered national prominence and accolades like the Best MC for India, the Women's Super Achiever Award, to name just a few. Renowned for creativity, she impressed leaders like the late APJ Abdul Kalam, the President of India, and has been a key presence at events like the Udaipur and the IFFI Film Award. Beyond anchoring, Gitikka is a certified creator of online courses under communication and practice. She leads the Ministry of Top Made in India content writing studio and advocates for gender-based balanced empowerment of the woman. Gitikka aims to train MCs nationwide and upskill agile in India, enabling an experiential industry fostering prosperity and societal transformation. Gitikka embodies empowerment. She's Shakti herself, paving the way for a future with talent and aspirations. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, especially anchors in the house, meet ace actress, anchor, wordsmith, a woman of excellence, a live host, a content writer par excellence, an awarded and celebrated intellectual partner for even managers like us across the world, the impeccable voice of the Indian entertainment industry. Presenting Tadan, Gitikka Ganju Dhar. Welcome, Gitikka, and I'm so excited because I've been waiting, gunning you down to see you on that hot seat. How do you feel today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for firstly such a in-depth introduction, and secondly for doing it with so much passion. Lots of gratitude to you, Meenakshi, and thank you so much for having me on your most wonderful and popular show. I'm happy to be here today.
Gitikka, a lot of water under the bridge. That is Gitikka Ganju Dhar. But I would like to pick up some pearls of wisdom of your experiences and string them together for a brand new generation that's watching us today. Tell
Yeah.
us, okay, where were you born, your early days, your how you studied, etc.
How did I start anchoring? You're asking me. Oh wow.
Can you just give me
That
a
was
pause? Can you give me a pause, please? Can you just stop for a second, my team? There's a problem with the mics. Can I go without the mics, please? Thank you, audience, for giving me a feedback. Feedback
Of
is the
course.
word today.
Did I
Yes,
get
please.
my cup of tea like that?
Please.
Can I go ahead without my mic?
Without the mic, please go ahead.
Okay. Are we ready to roll?
Still coming.
The echo is there. I'm so sorry for the technical glitch, but that's what life is all about. So let's carry on, right?
Absolutely.
Gitikka, tell me about the 11th of February, that one year when a cute little baby was born in the house. And who was she and how did she grow? Where did she study and how did she reach the crossroads of life?
Wow, my birthday. Ah. I'm an Aquarian now. And
Yes.
that's a problem
Yes.
because I think sometimes we are too kind. I was born in Delhi to an army officer and an economics professor. My parents are Kashmiri, and I've been brought up all across the country in different army stations, cantonments. My mother would teach wherever my dad got posted, and I had a childhood that I would term as very enriching, and it was full of learning. It was full of experiences that toughened me up, and I just learned so much. My mother exposed us to books, to films, to travel. Um, I think it was the grounding, the foundation on which my whole life stands. I had a happy childhood. I was, as a child, I was inward, and I was very shy. I think I was. Mm, I'm probably also very complex, and I kind of grew out of that much later. Uh, but yeah, looking back, I think I had a happy army childhood, and I'm satisfied because it enriched my life. I learned. I don't think I had too much fun, but that's a trait that stays with me till today. So I can't blame my parents for that. Having fun is an art, and I don't think I even understand that, but I'm trying. I'm trying. So yeah, that's about where I was born in my childhood.
Geetika, you qualified for a post graduation, and then suddenly, lo and behold, you went in an institution to train for something else. You came out as somebody else. Explain that journey.
So right after I think ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, I discovered that I'd taken science and I wasn't enjoying the process of education the way it was framed when we were students. It still is framed in the same way. I was very creative. I was very dreamy, and I just wasn't able to focus on science books and history and economics and accounts uh, and I think I also was very confused. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was creative. I wanted to do something with the films, but I didn't have the guts to go out there and probably become a director or an actor. My dad chose to put me into this course. I gave the entrance exam, and there I was doing business management from Delhi University, which I think was also divine will because as an anchor, much later, many years later, this business education would come handy when I would write scripts for corporates. And after that, then I by the time I knew that I can't do this, I just can't. Getting through accounts, passing accounts was so difficult. I remember back then. I'm still friends with so many of my students from there, from the business college, and I still laugh and like I don't know how I made it out. Anyway, so I then went in and I gave another entrance and I got into this very prestigious institution called AKJ Institute of Mass Comm in Delhi. And there is where I started, enjoying education. We were being taught filmmaking, photography, sound editing, camera work, all of that, script writing, all of that. And lo and behold, Meenakshi, over there, we had really nice big studios in the campus, and a lot of leading productions would come and shoot there, and someone saw me there. And in my final year, offered me to anchor something for Doordarshan. And I said,
Wow.
okay, I'll do it. And I did it. And it was very easy. And I think I was decent at it. And here I was, as camera person for the final film that you make after 2 years. And there I was already anchoring for television. I did a bit more of television. Then suddenly I don't know how somebody got my number in an agency called Magnum Nexus. They called me for an audition with Honda. Can you believe it? Of all the people.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
yeah, I mean, the tough taskmasters, and I got selected, and that was my takeoff in the corporate events world. But before that, I'd already done the premiere for Pardes with Anuradha Prasad of Bag and Subhash Ghai. So that's how I took off. I mean, really, anchor. I didn't even know what an anchor I was training to
You
be a
never wanted
director.
to be an actor. You never want. You never.
No, I didn't even know what it was. I wanted to be a director, a filmmaker. I wanted to, secretly, I really wanted to be an actress. But I was so scared of the film world and all the things that I would read about it in the magazines and, all of that. I said, I can't handle all this. I don't know how I'll, be able to maneuver within this. That time it used to look like a big bag world. You remember, Meenakshi? It
Yes,
was
yes, yes, yes.
I didn't have the guts to face up to that. Now, of course, it's a different ballgame altogether. But yeah, I didn't even know what anchoring was. And कहते हैं ना, I'll tell you, divine has its plans for you, and the universe has its plans for you, and they manage to place you, on the journey to achieve those plans. And I, more or less, I believe my life has been something that's just flown. I've never ever planned anything with regards to my
You are
career. Never.
destiny's child. You're
I
told
think
you're
so.
told,
Yes. I think so.
And
Yes. Yes.
so I would imagine this is 1999.
Yes. Yes. 1998.
Yes, was
to be
starting.
precise.
Many of us are finding our foot in the industry, and there's a lot of sponsors and companies coming asking for good quality artists. And I remember you started shining at that time itself. You worked relentlessly in the first few years, and then you came to the crossroad again. Gitikka, tell us about that, because you were ruling, you were the queen of the space even then. But I remember that suddenly Gitikka disappeared from the radar for a while. Tell us what happened.
So I think no, I am blessed with one attribute. I'm very confident of um, getting where I want to reach. A little illogical also at times, but my confidence has always allowed me to retract when I feel that I need to be by myself. I need to do something else. I need to plan ahead, or I just don't want to work at that point in time. I've always been very, very confident about going away a little bit and then coming back if I want to and when I want to. And I worked very hard, Meenakshi. Once I started, I worked so hard. I remember I used to shoot for a daily show on Star Plus, and I was doing something on Z. I was doing something on Doordarshan. I even anchored Chitrahar. God
Yes,
forbid.
that's
Yeah,
incredible.
lot of work. And then I would also do events, alongside. In those days, it wasn't like today. You couldn't get away with, 4 lines in a corporate
Yes.
event. We had people like Michael Menezes, and we had, Sabas, very, very keyed in. We had Summit. I used to work with them so much, and they were very, very particular about what you said on events. Roshan, Chanda, everybody. I was working very hard. And by 2008, I think I had burnt out much. I had completely, my body was just, I just wasn't interested. And at that point in time, I met my husband, and I decided that I really, really wanted to, have a family of my own. And looking back, I realized that, I it wasn't as important as I was I thought it to be. It would have happened on its own. But for me at that point, that was my mainstay, my main goal. And well, one grows as you go along in life. That happened. I took a break, and when I had my daughter in 2010, she was born. Then I was very clear that for the first 2 years I would like be with her as much as I can. I worked a little bit. My mother helped me work a little bit. Used to travel and all that. But I took a break, and I stayed in Chandigarh also for a year, and I spoke to no one from the industry. I completely disappeared. I think I needed a break, and life is also so important, And if you're good, you will come back. It's okay.
Yes, Gitikka. It's very difficult when you're in the prime of your, career to actually, it's like Sachin Tendulkar putting up his bat and saying, it's time for me to sit down. And then you come back. You see, you took a few years sabbatical. You went, had family time, and you were a perfect wife, the perfect, beautiful Indian girl. And then you started your journey. Actually, it's very inspirational, Gitikka. Often, all of us have our stories. I think your story is the way you fought back. And when you came back, the system was different. You see, a few years, and there was more competition. There were more inputs. There were, the changed. People's perception of the hard work that we did was different. Now I'm one generation above you. When we started work, there was no competition, but still, our conscience let us go correctly. Then came you, and you hardworking, beautiful girls. You used to give us the runs. Your generation is absolutely brilliant. And you led the tribe, the tribe of anchors. You were beautiful, you were intellectual, you had content, you had confidence, you had everything going for you. And then for some time you take a break and come back. How was it at that time? Was the world kind to you? Was the industry kind to you? Had things changed? How did you wade back against the tide?
This is a story I've told a couple of times, but because I'm talking to you today, I'm going to try and say it properly, because honestly, it's a story that I, Meenakshi, am very bored of telling. Uh, but uh, but I have to respect what I did back then, so I must tell it properly. Um, and because it's something that a lot of other women who want to do the same thing now will gain from listening. Uh, when I decided I wanted to come back and work again, and it was 2012 or 13, I think. Yes, um, I still had the baby weight on me, and I was totally out of touch with everybody. Everybody. I wasn't even on social media. Forget networking. I wasn't a member. I was a member of EEMA, but I wasn't in touch with anybody. And I had left on a very high note. I was doing a lot of work when I had sort of disappeared. I had taken that break. And when I came back, it was wrong of me not to assume that I would just waltz my way back in.
Walk back.
I do remember the initial 1 year was uh, full of heartbreaks, yes, but looking back, I realized now there was no need to take it to be so emotional about it. It was ये होता है. It's how the world is. It's all right. I mean, I took it. It really hurt me how people that I had worked with for a decade and who were friends didn't take calls, didn't give me meetings. I little by little, little by little, I started making headway. I did a show here, I did a show there, and I knew that if I had to, make my way back in, I would have to work doubly, triply hard than I had ever done before. Um, and I did that. Imagine doing that with a 2-year-old baby. My mom used to help, but I didn't compromise on her upbringing. I didn't compromise on my delivery that was happening at events. What did get compromised is my me time and a lot of time with my husband. I had no, uh, relaxation time, but I worked very, very hard, and I knew that all the people who were doing a lot of work at that time were absolutely different from what I was, bringing to the table. And to make matters worse, what I was bringing to the table wasn't even, in trend at that point in time. So Meenakshi, for me, it was a two-pronged approach. I had to also bring myself back to be able to do good work, but I also had to bring, in some way, content based hosting. Really, honestly, this is, it sounds so pompous to say it, but when I was living it, it was the truth. Yeah, and I'm so sorry to say it, but uh, the truth is the truth. And now, earlier I would be very shy of saying this, but now I'm like, the truth is the truth. This is what it was at that time, and I had to move against both of these very powerful phenomenons that were ruling at that point in time. um, but yeah, because I took it personally. I mean, actually, I said that, this is not fair. You can't tell me that I'm overweight or I'm overage
Body shaming
or
is
I'm
unnecessary.
not wearing, yeah, yeah, not wearing certain kind of clothes, or I'm on networking and I'm not on social media, and now I can't work. You mean you're not going to give me opportunities? But I'm skilled, I'm talented, I'm hardworking. I don't even see myself as a female anchor. For me, I'm genderless, ageless,
Anchor,
formless.
yes.
I'm here to work. And I took it as a challenge. I was disgusted at the approach, honestly, thoroughly. And I said, I of course do this for myself, but I'm gonna do this for all the other girls out there who want to continue to keep working after childbirth, end of the day. And why not? I mean, we are nurturers of human civilization. We give birth, we nurture children, we bring them up. Why should we have to pay for taking that time off?
Yes.
So it was very, very, looking back, I remember it was very traumatic, but looking back, I have also learned, and I will teach this to my daughter, that there's no need to take these things so personally. You can just make your way back with a lot of passion, with by being centered, by being calm, not taking anything personally. Dunya hai, you know, there is no right and wrong. Uh, it's a you just have to work your way through it without letting it traumatize you so much. And I did have many incidents, Meenakshi, where people did get very nasty with me and behind my back, on my face, with regards to how old I was or what my weight was. Even with regards what I was getting on an event, the support. There were times when I would get ready in the toilet of the hotel when I was making my way. And this after having worked for 12 years and having done the best of it. And I was bit by bit, I had to balance it out. I couldn't stand up then and, fight back on everything. But I would put my point across. I would, huh? It's not that I would take everything lying down. I would put my point across. But I would work so hard and deliver so hard, well, that they would take a step back. I would take a step forward. They would take a step back. I would take a step forward. Oh, if you tell me to do it again, I won't be.
As much as the system might deny it, women in public spaces, it's not just events, they are more, right in the space for trolling and bashing. And they're abused by our own system. Our own system that creates us abuses us. Will a man be
and the women, and actually the women join the fray. The women also join the fray, and they also pull you down.
Yes. So what is your opinion? Because I feel very strongly that they don't do it to a man. A man can look anyway and he's good and he's good. But when it comes to a woman, the client's dictators, she should be sexy, she should dress like this, she should walk like this, talk like this. Whether she has good content or not, sometimes it's very sad. There are very discerning people who actually say content. So what is your take on this? It must have troubled you at that time. You fought the system, you got into shape, and you are known as the queen of content today. And you have taught a lesson. You slapped the system by telling them it's not about anything, it's about us and my thoughts and my expression. So tell us about content. How do you prep for an event? And even today, I see that you work as hard. All of us do. Tell us, give us the recipe. How do you choose which events you want to do? And how do you choose how you go about preparing for it?
Meenakshi, you know what? I don't think I did anything great or anything out of the ordinary. If not content, then what is anchoring? Tell me. ऐसा क्या मतलब I don't even मैंने कोई ऐसा सोच के नहीं ये सब I didn't think that I would do content because nobody else at that point in time was. No, what is anchoring? From my understanding, I had my seniors at that time. We had the likes of Brian and Roshan and Shamina Rang, the newsreaders from TT. They were all of you. Everybody used to talk sense on stage. They would talk meaningful stuff on stage. Even if they were engaging for fun, it would have so much quality to it. So that was my bar. If not content, then what else? And then I'm also very fond of writing. I am a writer, so for me that kind of worked in my favor. You asked me about how I choose my projects. I have, I think, very smartly steered my brand over the last 25 years. I have accepted the changes in my own self, and I have accepted the changes in my self as a person, as a professional, the stages of my life. I've also embraced and addressed changes in the industry, with new people coming in, with the trends changing, with what the industry is really looking for. As long as it's good, I've consistently evolved what I bring to the table. And according to that, I have focused on those kind of shows, during phases. So I always have had these 4 5 years, 4 5 years where I've done a certain kind of work, and then I've had to steer and pick something else. So, and luckily it's always been things that I've enjoyed at that point in time. Now the last few years, honestly, I'm hooked on to Brand India, and
Yeah.
I read a lot about India. I love our mythology, our culture, our tradition. I read so much. I even write about it. I love being on events where initiatives that are taking our country forward are launched. That's why I love working with the Prime Minister's office, the ministries, PSUs. It's something that I'm enjoying, Meenakshi. It's also alongside something that I'm decent at, and people are happy to have me on such events. It's all just come together very beautifully. This is the phase right now. Uh, I now, at this stage of my career as an anchor, I don't do anything that I feel I'm going to be uncomfortable with. I am also very good with casting, and I know who should be cast in which show. I also know, for myself where I should be cast, and I don't go beyond that boundary. I'm not delusional. So I accept it. I'm very happy about it. Whatever is coming my way, believe me, are the greatest blessings. Every 5 years, I've thought, this is it. This is the shelf life. This is it. This is it. It's just gone on and on and on. And I think it's just the blessings, because I'm not in the corner doing one show a month or doing one big show in 2 months. I'm right there, center stage, doing some of the best events.
Yes.
And what else can it be but blessing?
You're a perfect combination. You're a ballet dancer, you're a Bharatnatyam dancer, you're a singer, you're a content writer, you're beautiful, you have sense of humor. But which is your best attribute when you go on stage? I understand when the lights come on, the dramatic start, the storyteller comes alive. We can see it in all of us, but with you, I can see it totally turn, 360 degrees change in a person like you. When you get on the stage and the lights start, you are totally a different person. Tell us about that experience, how you feel on stage and how you connect with whatever audience is in front of you.
Um, there is, it can be explained very scientifically, but something just takes over, Meenakshi. I mean, how do I explain that? Something just takes over. I think it's my energy also that, that kind of works on stage. Also, the fact that I am a mix of being a dancer and I was a debater in school. I'm a writer. I love the words I'm speaking. At the same time, a hard-nosed professional who takes the brief. Because of being an army child, I'm disciplined. I'm not going to cross the boundary on stage. I'm confident, so I don't push my brand on stage. I don't, show them everything that I can do in one show. So a lot of things are coming together for me. I think it's as I've always said, it's maybe I'm not the best at A, B, C, D, but maybe I'm just a package of a lot of very important things that have come together. And my husband often tells me that you always say that the way your face looks, or the way you look has no role to play, but it does. I mean, come on, be honest about it. Uh, uh, I think as long as I'm wearing the right clothes for the events and I'm reasonably well presented and fit, it's okay. I mean, I don't want anyone to focus on the looks at all, because that is not what anchoring is about. And I really principally really feel strongly about it. So yeah, but apart from all of this, it's something that just takes over. There are times when I've worked 7 8 hours on a conference, and I'm walking up to the podium to do the next session, and I don't have the cue card in my hand, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired. I don't even remember who I'm going to introduce. Um, I reach the podium, and it comes. It comes. A friend of mine, Khantel, who's with Go Bananas, he told me, there are things called angels who talk to you in your ears. Uh, I think I have some of that working, some of the magic that is working in my case. Otherwise, it's not. I can remember a lot of stuff on stage. I can do a 25
If you can
pager
tell us
on
that
stage.
one special memory that, what would you say your best memory of your anchoring time, where all your skills came from?
Oh, ooh. There was this show that I did before COVID. I think he was on. He was going to begin his second campaign for elections, our prime minister, and they put together a show called Maybe Chokidar, and this happened
Oh,
in a stadium in Delhi. Yes, and of course I had prepped and everything, and I was wearing my white sari, gold border, flowers in the hair, and uh, it was a 2 hour show on stage, just with the head of state and me. And Meenakshi, can you believe I chose to go on without cue cards? For
oh,
whole 2 hours? Yes, I mean insane. I wouldn't do it do it today, but I just did, and I must have felt confident, so I did it. But oh my god, I don't think I've had to pull everything together more than I did on that day for that show for 2 hours on a one-to-one, running different multiple locations, connecting different video feeds. We had a huge audience in front of us. He was there. He was speaking, stopping, and then he decided to go off cue and do something else. So 2 hours with him right there on stage, and then the presence of a head of state, honestly, and the fact that it's getting streamed live, and the fact that if I make one mistake, the agency is going to be. So yeah, I think that was a brave thing to do, and
you are next to these
I
heavyweight.
pulled it off.
You have the Prime Minister, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. You have a repertoire of standing with these heavyweights. How does it feel? Because all of them are great event managers themselves. They're great anchors themselves. They're great speakers. There's a lot of ego here, and there's a lot of respect for that seat. How does Gitikka contain herself when she goes in for protocol events or celebrity events? Is there a separate protocol that you follow for yourself? Because you do so many varied kinds of events.
So when it comes to a head of state, it's just very graceful and very sensible to not try and show off your talent or your skill. Do the job in the most dignified, and just if you just need to be three, be three. You need to be two, be two. You know, don't be over enthusiastic. You are not the show. You are a very important link in that show, and that's the boundary that I always follow with the head of state. This is not because I feel subservient. This is because I follow the vision of the show director. I follow the vision of the ministry or the PMO, and I stay within those boundaries. When it comes to a media achiever, for example, if it's Mr. Bachchan or if it's a sports star, there again, this is somebody who's achieved a lot. They like to be introduced properly. At the same time, your energy should not be a challenging energy. It should not be an overpowering energy. It should be a very appreciative, very graceful energy. I don't take a back step. I don't. I still do my talking as the best that I can. But at the same time, there is a lot of respect that I give to these achievers, because it's their moment on stage, not mine.
Yes. It's wonderful. Now you do you do weddings, you do corporate events, you do prime minister office events. At every time you are different. Is there something called power dressing or dressing down, dressing up for different events? How do you manage the way you look, the wardrobe you carry? Because I'm looking at the new anchors, I'm really I'm graced to see. Some people think that only clothes make it you, but no. Beyond the dress and the look of the beautiful new girl, there is no content. So how do you handle that? These are the girls who are in the industry today, and they have to upskill themselves. So what do you tell them now, right?
See, when we are watching films, okay, and you have an XYZ actress who's looking great, okay, but poor thing is probably the child of some a very big star and is not acting well. How much she gets trolled, no? Because she's
Yes,
looking very good. She's wearing lovely clothes. Her makeup is great. She's toned and fit, but she's not acting. How much we troll her, no? Because she's not doing her core job.
job. Yes,
Same thing. As an anchor, you have to do your core job. And if everything else also comes together, how wonderful would that be, right? The problem is,
yes.
Meenakshi, we in the industry have developed this amazing patience for um, substandard work. We've gotten used to it. We've made our peace with it, and we've let it roar.
Compromise.
Clothes are important, of course. I mean, come on, it's how you present yourself. It's you have to, for example, if you're doing a show that probably has the minister for tourism on stage, and you're in the state of you're in Goa, you try and get something that's regional. You try and dress up dignified. If you're doing something where you have Bill Gates on stage, you get into a power jacket. Then again, you have to just have to have the knack where to stop uh, it's not, you're not in a fashion show, it's not about you making a style statement. You're a part of the brand message, whether it's by the government of India, or whether it's by the government of Madhya Pradesh, or whether it's by Amazon. You're a part of that message, and you have to fit in. You have to be designed in every way: your makeup, your costume, what you say, your words, your body language, your tone, how your energy is going to be in that particular show. Everything has to be customized for that particular show. It's not very difficult, it's very easy. So I really don't know why a lot of people are not doing it, and then some people also are doing it. But clothes, it's the easy way, Meenakshi. See, I'm not judging anybody here, please, huh? Because my guru, we I knew this always, but you can't judge anybody. There's nothing called right and wrong in the world, like he says. It's only about whether something you do or say should not hurt anybody else. Uh, that really, but I'm not judging. So I'm saying, okay, if you want to base your career on clothes, and you want to base your career on the way you look and how gorgeous you are, how lovely your hair is, or whatever, uh, that's your choice, and I respect that. I mean, come on, you look great. How awesome is that? But for me as a person, I don't think that's the core part of the job. And I'm not judging you, but I would love if you just added the job onto that, and how wonderful would that be? You and I were talking yesterday, right, Meenakshi? And
Yes, yes.
you started as an anchor, and you said this, I think, that out of 1.7 billion people in India, why is that so many of us who've been around for more than 25 years are still getting great work?
Yes, yes.
Why have we not been replaced?
Yes, Gitikka, and it's
Something's
good
going
in a
wrong
way.
in this.
You and I have no shelf life, Gitikka. As long as we are rocking our content, we are there. There will always be intelligent people who will see through everything and look at the intelligent woman. Now, talking about women, I have a favorite peeve. Some events we are pitched to work with men, and we have some fabulous male anchors. Although we dominate, the female anchors dominate the numbers, but there are some fabulous guys. But some of these guys come with major egos, and that's, I think, just the masculine ego. How do you handle it when you're pitched against a male anchor
I
for an
don't
event?
handle it.
You might be senior, but the ego comes in first. Did you have any experiences with male?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. First of all, I'd like to say that out of the current lot, I think the boys are doing great work. They're probably doing better work than the girls are as of today. Um, I very rarely get paired with a male anchor. Um, there must be reasons to that, but when I do, barring a few occasions, it always leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because it saddens me to see how insecure many of them are, despite being leading television stars and leading film stars, and how low they can stoop in telling the agency to tell me to talk less, tell me to back off a little bit, not do my job the way I want to do it, the way it should be done. Trying to take away entries, trying to take away the mic. Um, Earlier, I would get shocked by it, but now I just, I mean, if they do this, I just escalate the matter, write a mail to the agency. I said, this is what your, host has done, and I leave it there. I've had experiences. I mean, recently we did a wedding, I think, yeah, where I had a very, very, well-known television star who also anchors shows on television. He and his manager actually took away entry after entry after entry of mine that was on the floor, And
Oh,
after the fourth or fifth time they did it, I realized that something was happening here. That I wasn't even allowed to go on stage. And finally, when I, made an entry with this person actually took the mic from my hand to speak to the guest in the audience and then give the mic back to me for 15 minutes.
shame.
I, it's like I, it's such a pity. It's really such a
Yes.
pity because if this is what you need to do, uh, then what a sorry state of affairs for you. Um, it's okay. I mean, to each their own. And as I just said, I escalate the matter. I leave it to the agency, and I make a mental note that I will never work with this person ever again. I think
Yeah.
the men out there, the anchors, um, they also don't let a lot of the girls who are working today speak.
Co-host with them.
And when I ask them, why do you do this? They're like, no, 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 she doesn't know what to say and she doesn't come prepared and, she sounds this, she sounds that. And I turn around and I think to myself that, oh, you mean the ones who know how to speak, you let them speak?
You
So come
intimidate
on.
them. Simply, Gitika, intelligent women sometimes scares the hell out of these guys. Some of these guys, some of them are so good and very talking about chauvinistic people and good people. What do you think? I think patriarchy is downhill now when it comes to events, especially and entertainment. Before we used to be protected by the tribe. Today, many people they say feministic approaches. You have to be equal. What is your opinion on feminism in our industry and the so-called genderless work in corporate work? I mean, there's a lot of fakeness here, in my opinion. What do you think? The casting couch. We hear about so many stories. They're still there, and girls are still willing to be there.
I mean, actually, I didn't get the drift of your question. Pardon me for that, my bad. But
I'm
if you
talking
can just
about,
repeat.
all of us. I belong to a generation where the father took care, the mother nurtured the family, and then the children grew together. And that was the culture we brought to our work. But today, with the so-called equality and feminism and girls wanting to walk the path shoulder to shoulder, many girls are willing to compromise, and men are willing to take advantage. We know for sure that we are not very safe in many environments, especially the anchors. We are eye candy. Many of the girls are eye candy to the male counterparts, to clients. Safety is an issue. We might discuss and say we are safe, we are brave, but the new brave world has no story where a girl is safe. What is your opinion about security, safety, and what is happening with younger people in the system today?
So, Meenakshi, I am privy to a lot of girls coming and confiding in me about stories that I will term as horror stories. Horror. And as an ecosystem, we need to really accept that about our industry. We're still way better off than probably other media industries. But nonsense is happening, and let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. Having said that, I also believe that no one can predate on you until you allow it. See, that's a crime. If you force yourself on someone, or you gag someone, and you kidnap them, or you molest them, that's different act altogether. That's crime, and I don't really see too many people going down that road. They do, but not too many in our industry too. But apart from that, if you're letting it happen, you know, and you're succumbing to it because you want to take a shortcut, or because
Yeah.
it's something that you need to ask yourself. You need to ask yourself. Um, I believe that we live in a good universe, and if you don't want to do it, uh, probably you'll find a way. But then there are some people who still can't find a way, and उनकी शायद कुछ मजबूरी होती है. But you can't generalize and really say anything about this, Meenakshi. I have no
Yeah.
disrespect for people who want to compromise. I believe it's their choice, and am I God's sake to tell them not to do it? It's their choice. I don't know what their situation is. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know how strong their ambition is. Uh, but yeah, from the wisdom of having spent 25 years here, I would say not something that you should do. It's not required. Your body and mind and your heart and your soul are very precious. Don't sell them short. All you need to do is work very well, and this is it's a good industry. Men
Run the race.
respect work, women respect good work. All you need to do is do really good work and handle your work smartly and brand yourself clearly, and you'll keep moving. You'll keep moving.
Gitikka, from ad films to anchoring and now to mainstream films, you've actually reached the waters where you wanted to swim as a child. You're now into films. Tell us about it. You've reached where you wanted to be. Tell us, would you always prefer to be an actor or an actor?
Yeah. I used to dream about being an actress, and I remember in 11th and 12th, I was like a mad fan of Amir Khan when his QSQT was released. And later on a stage in a corporate event a few years ago, I told him, I said, I came full circle. I mean, my first film ended up being with your production house, and there I was. So um,
That was
honestly,
Lanchan
I
Chetta.
haven't. Yes, Lal Singh Chaddha, yes.
Yes,
I
you
haven't
know me.
really, it was a role that fell into my lap, Meenakshi. I've done nothing to further my acting career. I don't even see it as a career. I see it as something that will bring me a lot of joy. At the same time, I would want to do it very nicely, very properly. I have I'm very clear about what I want to do and what I will not do and what I can do and what I will not be given the opportunity to do. I'm very accepting of all of that. But what is really great is that I have come in at a time where I can do this on my own terms. And I'm very secure, very comfortable, very confident, and it's truly just about joy. I don't work hard at furthering my acting career. Um, Maybe I'll put a little bit more discipline to it in the next few months. Let's see. But as of now, whatever I'm doing, I've done Tanav, the new season that's coming on. I have a nice little role in that. Then something else is coming up. So whatever is coming, Meenakshi, is just coming to me. So I'm not
Wonderful.
going out there and seeking acting work. There again, there are lots of blessings, and let me see. I'm taking a few calls in life. Right now, for me, acting is joy, and we'll see in the years ahead. We'll see.
For you to do so many things, to wear so many caps, as well as to rock your cradle and rule your world, your family, your ecosystem is the most crucial. And I see that you built a wonderful nest. You have a wonderful man supporting you, have a child, you have a family. Tell us more about your husband, your better half, your best half.
So, you know, it's when you see it from the outside, it seems like, oh, it's so wonderful and so easy, and it's such a wonderful. No, it's very normal. It's We have our challenges, we have our ups, we have our downs. Um, he also was brought up in India. He also has, spent his childhood with, his family, maybe telling him things that are different from what my family told me. The only thing with him, I would say, is that he has never thought that he could stop me from doing anything professionally, which is really convenient because there are men who do that. And if he'd done it, I would have run away very fast. And he's an easy guy at home. He's not very demanding. Having said that, there are lots of things that I would have had differently. So marriage is it's an institution that asks for a lot of time, a lot of
Yes.
attention, which I don't think I really gave over the last few years. But I was very committed. I was always very loyal. I was very kind, and I was a nurturer, a caretaker, a giver. But I realize now that I need to also uh, be there much more for him as a friend, as a partner, as a parent, as a mother. I think I'm fabulous. Yeah,
You are fabulous. Yes, you are. Tip of the
yeah,
whole book, the little girl. Mhm.
yeah. So
And
it takes a lot to keep the family going. It's a lot of hard work, but then. It's a life you're built, right? I mean, your family, your kid, your husband, my parents, my close friends. It takes work. It takes work. I mean, actually, it's not easy. There are times
no,
when you feel that you could have done this alone, and it was so much easier for me. And but these are the choices that I made about being married, about having a child, and I'm saying it again, it's not easy. Nothing is perfect as it looks out there in social media.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
is having their ups and downs and their blacks and whites, and I'm very honest about it all. And at the end of the day, I know that I care very very deeply about him, and I love him beyond this whole tag of a husband and all of that. I see him as my family, as somebody that I really 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 care about and will stand by. And my kid,
You
of
know, when we
course.
when we get into the work, we have to forget our families and go right into what is expected from us. I still remember my son was dying of cancer, and I was standing on a stage and anchoring an event. The next day, he passed away, and he kept saying, "Ma, you are so wonderful. You have to be there." But every time it came back to me, and even now, after so many years, that when you had to weigh your heart versus your commitments, sometimes we are like Mera Naam Joker, the character that has to perform. And it's very difficult, sometimes a good days, sometimes bad days. How spiritual are you? I know you're a lovely Hindu girl who likes India to the core. Do you have a guru who balances you out? Is there somebody who holds your hand, your angel? Is there somebody who tells you what you're doing is right and how you go about it?
Uh, First of all, I'm very sorry for your loss, and I can't comprehend how painful it must have been, and I can't even begin to imagine your journey back to where you are today. And uh, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Um, but yeah, about having bad days and you go back out there and you work. There, I really don't think I do anything extraordinary because I'm a professional. As I said, I come from an army background. Work is worship. Discipline. I could have had a really, really bad day in my personal life, but I'm very proud of the fact that I have each and every time gone back up on stage and I have delivered. I have not let it come my way because it doesn't come in my way. That's how I'm built organically. I do that thing and then I sit in my car and that's when real life starts. Now, uh, I think and I feel actually I know that my guru was always with me. He was always watching the journey because I can tell you lots of instances where things shouldn't have worked in my favor and they just did. Having a guru in your life, Meenakshi, and I'm sure you know this better than I. It's like you have a sprinkling of magic dust, stardust in your life. Things just flow, yeah. Things just move, and it's sort of आपने अपनी जिंदगी की जो एक जिम्मेदारी है वो किसी और के कंधों पे डाल दी है. I'm still working as hard. I'm still working as hard. I'm still trying to do lots every day, trying to also have fun, trying to also be a good mother, everything. But he's there with me. Yeah, he's like, it's like he's there with me 24/7. I constantly talk to
Who's
him.
your Guruji, if I may ask, Gitika?
Yeah, he's right there. He's always with me. This is the divine light. They call this the divine light. This you'd call it a photograph. Maitri Dada Shriji, and his life consciousness is in the divine light. I met him so many times in person, of course, and in those meetings, he's given me hints of guidance. He doesn't believe in guiding. He says we all have to walk our path and
Find it
encounter our
yourself.
fellow. Yes, but he's there to dim the pain, to make it better, to protect you when he thinks he needs to. Um, he's there with me constantly. I'm constantly talking to him, and I feel no vacuum in my life anymore because his he feels it all. And for me, I'm a great believer in a greater force, and there's so many experiences that I and many other followers of his have been through, which you can't explain. But I believe in miracles. It's just one of those things, and
Wonderful.
I think I'm very lucky that he found me. He chose to find me, and for me, life now um, is very really blessed. It's blessed. It's like I love
Yes,
Dada. Yeah,
Gitika, now here you are. So many experiences, great life, an entire career with the limelight on you, so many stories to share. good, bad, and the ugly. Then you have family. Everything is happening. Finally, a Guruji, spiritual life starting. Will there be a book sometime in the years to come, where Gitika would put her story down for the future as a legacy of her presence on planet Earth?
So I don't believe that. Um, I don't use the word legacy for myself or my life or my career at all, Meenakshi, because we're too little. I feel it's too little. But what I definitely do want to do is to, yeah, I mean, I've already 2 books are midway, and I will write it from experience because he tells me that Anubhav experience is just the best way to communicate the good things about life. And he's always said that you are not my messenger, you are the message.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, yeah. So I don't need to tell anyone that this is how you should be or this is what you should do. I will write my experiences 100%. There will not be one, two, but there will be many, many books in the years ahead because I love writing and I want to share my experiences.
Uh,
Yeah, so that will happen for sure. A children's book is already done and it's there. As I said, I'm too confident. I'm not in a hurry, but sometimes I also feel I sit on things too much. But yeah, it's going well. Let's see.
your punchline for Ministry of Talk, content is queen. It's such an amazing line. It makes me so proud to be a queen too, because we queens know the difference between just existing and to rule the space. What is the road ahead for you, and what are the things that you would like to say to the younger generation, especially the girls who are watching you? There are a lot of people who are excited that you're coming on today.
Oh, nice. Must thank you to all of them for their love, really. Really, thank you very much. Um, what I want to say to them is that what I say to my daughter, what I say to my friends who sometimes need to be reminded that uh, all of us, of course, have the divine within us, in our hearts, in our heart chakras. We also have Shakti within us, the creator of everything around us. You cannot even begin to imagine the kind of strength that is within you as a woman. Maya Angelou had once said, I think, that saying when she says you put a woman in, it's like a tea bag, you put them in hot water, that's when you know how good or
Yes.
bad she is. We're powerful. I feel so powerful, Meenakshi. I feel so empowered. And I want everybody, every woman out there to feel the same way. Um, what I'd like to tell them is that be good, do good. Yes, go out there, have a career, but also have something in your life where you serve other people, you serve humanity, you help other people, help your country, help society, help community, make that also a part of your life. And always remember if you compromise, you are contributing to an entire phenomenon out there that wants you to compromise, that is designed to force you to compromise. So there could be 10 of us out there who are sacrificing greater success but standing by what we believe in is the right way to be, a right path to travel on, and you by flaunting that just going. I read somewhere in UN statistics saying that more than I think 200 years something for gender equality across the world if we move at the pace that we're moving at. It's so simple. We were man, woman, everybody else, LGBTQ. It should all be equal. No, where is this inequality coming from? So we
Yes.
all have to come together to address this in our own ways through our own lives. Make sure that your life as a woman in this lifetime on earth makes a difference and takes a lot towards
Yeah.
gender equality. Make sure you
And
do that.
in every event, especially for all those who are looking at me from the event industry, whatever might be the event, whoever the client might be, whoever the event manager might be, there is only that one maverick that takes the entire event and hosts it. And that powerful person is the MC, the person who's anchoring the show. So respect your anchor because that is your voice. That's the person who stands for your ethics, for your professionalism, and for what values you bring as a team to the table. So for everybody who says, I am an anchor, say it with pride because you're anchoring yourself in somebody else's space, but you are a brand to reckon with. It is wonderful to have you with us. And for all the fans of Gitika, we will be putting in our handles. She's given some exemplary and exemplary talks to women and men from the anchoring fraternity on how to be. And I'm very, very impressed with the way you've given us. Is there going to be a training academy so that our girls and boys can learn? Because you have that in you, that fire. Tell them the truth and say it well. Will there be something like that in the future?
Meenakshi, I feel like you said I'm Destiny's child. So yes, it is my plan that I want to have. I want to, have workshops. I want to have courses, modules. I already did put out a very, very, I think it was a world-class communication course that we put out online called Communication Unwrapped. We did very well. This is my plan, Meenakshi. I don't know what the universe's plan for me is, but I think I would enjoy sharing my learnings and my experiences with other hosts and presenters out there. I would love to go into tier two, tier three cities of India and, get those girls who are hungry and they want to work hard and they want to do it the right way. And of course, I want to do something for the girl child in our country. I'm not very clear as to how I'm going to go about it, but so these are my plans. What the universe has in store for me, or what the universe wants me to do, what the divine wants me to do. Let's see how it flows. But for now, yes, I do have that.
I was reading a saying by Will Smith this morning. He says, if you are absent during my struggle, don't expect to be present in my success. This is a saying that is so true because, some people, they shun us away when we are not in the market because our value has become zero. But they forget that, we have the capacity to fly to like the salmon to go, on an anadromic travel up the stream. Never give up. And people like Gitika, I love the way you say Gitikka Ganju Dhar. You have maintained your father and your husband in the same breath. And this is something that our younger girls,
Meenakshi, that Dhar is not just my husband. It's also my mother's maiden name.
oh,
So my dad
wow.
is yeah. So my dad is Ganju, and the Dhar for me in my heart it indicates my mother's maiden name, and my husband's my father's surname is also Dhar. And you said something about what Will Smith said that if you don't stand with me in my success, then don't stand with me when I'm in my failure. Then don't stand with me in my. That's not how I feel. Meenakshi. That's not what I have.
I was waiting for
Felt.
this.
Yeah, I know that's not how I feel. I just feel that whatever has happened, and we should be thankful. That I'm thankful that I made it through it all, and I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm friends today with the very people who put me down. I'm out there helping so many of them in different ways. Um, I have no bitterness. I only have a lot of affection and love for almost everybody, and I'm flowing with life, and um, we should not give ourselves so much importance because we're just instruments of the divine. And I'm
Yes.
flowing, and I'm whatever is happening is happening. You have to keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. चलना है, चलना हमारा धर्म है, and you have to forgive, you have to move on, you have to have a big heart, and all this just happens very organically. It's not something you can force yourself to do. It just happens.
Gitika, which is that one song that is closest to your heart and why? You are
I
a good
like
singer.
I like lots of songs. My favorite song changes every few weeks, so I can't really tell you which one really is my one favorite song. No, I can't. I'm listening nowadays to I Love You Baby and Unforgettable and Mamma Mia and all.
With a little bit at home.
I also like Kal Ho Na Ho, Kal Kya Pata, Kal Ho Na Ho. Ah, yeah, I do like this one when it comes to my work. I often refer to it. एक दिन बिक जाएगा
क्या
माटी
बात
के
है
मोल जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे बोल
तेरे बोल
दूसरे के होठों को देकर अपने गीत कुछ तो निशानी छोड़ फिर
फिर
दुनिया से
दुनिया
दूर
हाँ, क्या बात ये बहुत सच्ची बात है क्योंकि बोलना ही आपका कर्म था and you're a karma yogi truly with your words. Your words are impactful. It was such a wonderful experience. I don't even know how the time has passed. God, we've just finished the time that we had. But meeting sparks like you, I always feel very revived. I always go back and think about how beautiful life is and how the shelf is so full. But there will always be those special people who will shine out of the shelf and say, hey, I'm around and for all the good reasons. Everything you do, I feel, is a signature of your lifetime. Every activity you do is a signature of your lifetime. So sign with style and grace. That's the only thing you can do. When in leaving, leave your footprints on the sands of time. Thank you, Gitika. I wish you a wonderful innings, and I know in the next so many years you will be there, shining, getting better by the day. And for all those who are here, please subscribe and ask Gitika to ask your fans to subscribe to this Meenamma because I've had 32 years of great events with Razzmatazz, and now we have some questions that people are asking.
Hello, everyone. Before we close the session, there are a few questions from the audience who are there today. First question is from Naved from Hyderabad. How do you manage to be confident and positive all throughout? That's for
if you heard my entire conversation, I don't manage to do anything. For me, it's just the way that I am luckily just built. If you believe in astrology, if your Chandrama is is of good strength, then you will be somebody who will fall and rise and fall and rise against the next day. Um, I have been through some huge roadblocks and challenges in my life. Uh, some of them can also be termed as very, very black in nature. But I've just managed to get up the next day and walk again and say that मुझे बस यही आता है और कुछ आता ही नहीं है. So I really can't tell you how it's done. Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. Just believe in the force that is bigger than you. Trust in that force. And your dharma is to walk. You walk.
Thank you very much. The second question is from Alankrita from Delhi. What's a good day and a bad one for you? And how do you recharge yourself?
Oh, here, don't ask me. I don't recharge myself. I only recharge myself when my body just, says, "Abhi ho gaya." So then I'll probably watch some content on television and I'll get a massage or probably, you know. But now, ever since I've Dada's come into my life, all of us we recharge. We go to the ashram and we soak in all the energy at the ashram and we come back recharged. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask you one question? Gitika, which is the one word that you would use to qualify yourself? It's just one word. Gitika is done. What is that one word that you would qualify yourself?
Fearless.
Yes. That's a great quality because you do not understand anything how brave you can be. So I guess with that, call it a day and let Meenamma rest. But in leaving this platform, Gitika, I leave a little bit of my heart with you because, I see myself in everything that you do. And it's lovely, the circle of life, how it comes in and goes, and it takes you to every generation. Wish you all the best, my dear friend. And God willing, we will meet and hug and pass the energies across. For all those who are watching, thank you for being with us and have a wonderful life. Remember, life is an event and every place is a stage. Impact. Say the right thing, do the right activities, and you will be the star of the show.
And don't forget to subscribe to her channel.
Yes. How did you feel? How did you like this show? It was candid. We didn't even plan.
I think you're very connected, Meenakshi, and I felt like I was talking to someone who knew what they were talking about. So for me, it was I'll meet you. We'll sit and talk. Thank you
Let
for this
us all
very special
connect.
time.
We
Yes.
have to connect very soon, and God be with us till then, and let's take the story ahead. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Namaste. Thank
Jai
you.
Hind.
Jai Hind.